shot calling. And so my concern now is that can Ben shot call as the new Korean in the team?
I'd like to see how this one pans out. Invictus Gaming were very well known for being fluently conversing in Chinese because Rookie was able to speak Mandarin pretty well. Not sure if that's going to shake things up for the team, but we are in Champions League for game number 1 between Vici and Invictus Gaming. And already
Vici Gaming.
And already the bans have gone underway. LeBlanc, Talia, and Shen have been taken away by Vici, whereas Invictus Gaming, they've gone for the Rise, Vladimir, and Azir ban.
Yeah, I'd say much more standard, honestly, on the side of Invictus Gaming. No surprises given that they're on the red side of the map. They have to stop the first pick from Vici coming out as the Vlad or the Rise. And once again, the Talia, taken from Rookie, one of the champions that he spammed the heck out of in solo queue. LeBlanc as well, taken from, let's just say Rookie and Zataya like. The Shen in particular, definitely targeted. So blue side target bans, red side meta bans.
The Rookie has played 4 games of Talia this split already, which is his 4th most played champion, just behind Victor as well. So very fond of the champion, taken away by Vici as they lock in Braum as their first pick. We've seen this a lot with LPL teams recently. They like to pick up Braum as soon as they possibly can during their draft.
I mean, we're starting to see that definitely in terms of support prioritization. If it isn't support, it's usually a top lane priority. And with that Trundle being available, would not be shocked to see it in this game.
Another champion that was left up and available will be that Hecarim, which we touched on briefly earlier. Rek'Sai is still left up for the taking too. So 2 very strongly contested junglers are available for both these teams.
Yeah, definitely will be. Of course, most champions are up when we consider what's strong in the meta, given all of the targeted bans that we have.
Invictus Gaming lock in Ashe as their first pick here for Endless, as it is going to be the Hecarim lock-in coming in for IG.
So they get themselves a mid to long range engage tool in the Ashe, something that IG will definitely need. It already stamps their foot down saying that IG's bottom lane's probably just going to be facilitative. Of course, knowing that they've got the Hecarim with it means that Kid will be able to carry. They may flex that with top lane, but even based off the preliminary summoner spells, Kid should be locking that one down.
Vici do lock in Karma as well. I've seen that flex between mid lane and support quite a few times. Vici is one of the few teams that have done it successfully, putting EasyHoon on that champion in the mid lane.
Yeah, and seeing the Braum indicates that it's 100% going there. As when you think about team compositions, Vici playing towards their own identity already.
Still waiting for Vici to pick up the other champion during their first pick rotation. They're going to be taking that Trundle, so 3 very strong power picks come out from Vici already.
Yeah, power pick is definitely an accurate way to describe what Vici have compiled for themselves thus far. Needing some more damage, perhaps, to round out their composition, as they do have a Karma in the mid lane. But Lung should be able to carry the ranks. I wouldn't be surprised to see something that can carry through the jungle position, but unfortunately for Dandy, the Hecarim has been taken from him. Might need to revert to the likes of the Graves.
Let's see if he does. Still waiting for Invictus Gaming to pick up their next 2 picks. That's an instant lock-in of Malzahar coming out from Rookie. So they do take Gangplank away as well.
Invictus Gaming are actually SKT. I have nothing more to add. They've just drafted SKT's team composition in their last best of 3 series. That's great.
Well, we have seen Malzahar a few times in the mid lane, most commonly picked into LeBlanc recently. This is the first time we're going to be seeing it up against a Karma in the mid lane.
Yeah, and you have to assume Zatai is also the one playing that GP, which we often see picked into Shen that was banned away from them explicitly. So knowing that it's the Trundle, perhaps they want to actually put the Malzahar top lane and put Rookie on the Gangplank so that they can keep the Trundle down, be a split-pushing menace that a Malzahar can be. Either that or they secure the more standard Mal's mid and GP top lane. You can still kite the Trundle.
On the flip side of Vici locking these 2 picks, they've literally got a team composition made up of first pick champions at the moment on the blue side. Every single one of those picks could potentially be picked up first during a draft.
Yeah, they have actually established themselves a stock standard meta, ridiculously good team of 5. They've got engage, they've got vision control, they've got disengage, move speed, everything that you could want and more. And it's going to be really hard to kill them.
Yep, and that was with the Sivir and Rek'Sai, the final 2 picks coming out from Vici. So looking very strong in terms of their team composition being drafted into Invictus Gaming, who have thrown a curveball of sorts here at Vici.
Yeah, well, I mean, Invictus Gaming just throwing the meta at their face and saying, come at me.
And they followed that one up with an Alistar lock-in into the bottom lane, a pick that was very popular during the spring split of the LPL, but after MSI dropped out of favor quite significantly.
Yeah, it has seen a few nerfs, so you don't actually get 2 rounds of summoner spells in most team fights as Alistar. You're much more of a one-hit and then run away style of champion. Utilize that heal as effectively as you can, but always going to be a dangerous pick-based or engage tool for the team if the Ash Arrow connects. If the Alistar gets the Flash Pulverize, you're going to be knocking people around through Gangplank ultimates, into Malzahar ultimates, and with a Hecarim running rampant.
In fact, this is the first time either of these two teams have picked up Alistar. So IG with 3 different supports playing throughout Summer Split. It's the first time going to be playing the champion. That's with Ben, their new Korean support down the bottom lane.
There's going to be a lot of firsts for Invictus Gaming in this series.
Well, there's a lot of firsts last week for Invictus Gaming as well.
Yes, there was, and that's one thing that continues to ring true with this team. We called it an existential crisis. Well, it feels like that's an understatement. They've just drafted like SKT have, and it almost feels like replication of strategy. This will be an interesting game.
Well, let's see if Invictus Gaming can put on their shiny Faker's shoes against Vici as we head into game number 1. We've loaded on to Summoner's Rift for the first match of Week 7, day number 1. It's going to be between Vici and Invictus Gaming. As the observer kindly shows us, it's going to be an Infernal Dragon. That's the first dragon to spawn in this series.
That's right. Vici back up off a 2-0 victory against Game Talents. Invictus Gaming, all sorts of confusing. Did lose their last set, even though they won a game with Rookie as their AD carry, but a 2-1 defeat, unfortunately for them. Now puts them onto the back foot, but Rookie's back.
Invictus Gaming have lost their last 6 sets in the LPL. That is a pretty long loss streak.
Yeah, we'll call it 5.5. 5.5 will do.
5.5. They did take a game off EDG, which was surprising.
That's right. IG have always had a really high skill ceiling. Rookie, extremely talented. Kid has came into his own in the jungle position, actually shown that he's quite good. Zatai's always got a potential to go off on carry champions, and something that they've even given to him now. As we'll have to see how this one plays out.
Vici on the flip side, we were talking about it before the show itself. I mean, they've dropped games to the top teams. They've lost to RNG, EDG, Team WE, and then, you know, lost the game to Newbie as well, but they've been looking pretty solid so far.
Yeah, once again, starting to come into their own. They've got Dandy and EasyHoon really finding form. They're starting to pick champions that complement that. They are playing the map well.
They certainly are. As Vici starts off this game by initiating a lane swap. They send Endless and Caveman up to the top side of the map, up against Ty on his Gangplank.
Trying to keep the Gangplank down. Does make sense. We'll see what he does. They know he's in the bush.
Endless actually going to face check here to Ty. Gets the 10 gold. Smacks him with his sword. As Caveman going to tag him up with the Winter's Bite. Tatai has to be careful. Going to get exhausted. Endless does get the stun down, but Tatai will be able to stay safe.
Yeah, and Endless had already had his Q used, so there was no kill threat. Not sure why Caveman actually exhausted that one. One big question mark already as the Summoner spell's burnt. However, it doesn't mean too much, as the Gangplank's now going to waltz his way towards the longest journey ever in finding Kid.
He's going to be able to help Kid out in the jungle, who has been performing pretty well recently.
And Brahm's trying to find him.
They're going on a magical journey together, Caveman, like you said. Was not able to find him though, so we'll have to keep track of this lane to see how it pans out. Vici and IG will have an isolated mid lane though, between EasyHoon and Rookie.
Yeah, they definitely will. So Malzahar having an isolated lane will actually find a decent amount of control. However, Karma's early game actually does quite well in minion manipulation. It's not Azir, it's definitely not Talia, but it's one of the next best things.
It certainly is. As Kid, he's able to take down his blue buff after being kicked out of the red side of his jungle. That means Dandy will be able to get 3 buffs for his start on Rex side, picking up his own red and moving straight towards Invictus Gaming side of the jungle, take down their red as well. Yeah,
but still one of the better buffs to get for a Hecarim. Getting the blue buff means you can sustain in the jungle. You run out of mana extremely quickly, even with a half side clear as Hecarim. So now he can continue to push, maintain his pace with Dandy. Of course, not having the red buff sucks when it comes to ganking, but he's not going to be ganking too heavily unless he gets a cheeky one off in the middle lane, which is difficult to do.
Dandy actually moving pretty close towards that mid lane as both Vici and Rookie trade spells. But the first turret is going to fall down. Long takes down the outer turret up on the top side of the map. We should see the turret fall as soon as possible for IG as well. So Tai's going to be donated all the turret gold too.
Yep, Zatai's playing it out with his true damage that he can do to the turrets on that passive. Helps a lot with ensuring that you get it and not die. Zatai recalling right now because the tempo that IG have actually presented themselves with is a little bit slower. So when you look at the CS between top laners, Lung's finding himself a fair distance ahead.
He certainly is. 11-1 at the moment for the Trundle. As we see Vici send their AD carry and support down towards the bottom side of the map, looking to try to continue that lane swap. But Invictus Gaming, they're going to try and match the 2-on-2 lanes. So Ashe and Alistar are going to go head-to-head against the Sivir and Braum.
Yeah, so they will be 2v2ing against each other unless Vici change their minds on this strategy. Trundle with a big CS advantage. You would expect Lung to recall once the GP gets there. Maybe get an item advantage if he chooses to stay in the 1v1. Either that or he can duke it out, trade health with him, but he runs the risk of being ganked by Kid. And so you might want to bring Dandy up for protection's sake, and that's exactly where the Rek'Sai's going.
He is 2 levels ahead of the Gangplank at the moment, and now over 20 CS up ahead of Tatai. So Tatai needs to try and find farm somewhere here, or at least stop this wave from crashing on deep on towards his turret.
Gangplank with the poor man's shrooms. Not a Teemo, can actually put kegs down and spot people out, which is very clever and one of the unique bonuses that a GP provides. As he did see that Dandy, but unfortunately, doesn't mean that Zatai is going to be happy for it when we can compare these top laners endlessly. So Zatai's not having the best time on Summoner's Rift.
He certainly is, and Lung getting very far ahead, and that wave will crash on towards Zatai's tower, so he has to farm underneath the turret.
Good movements from Dandy to ensure it actually happens. And now the junglers are saying hello.
They certainly are. It's Kid and Dandy fighting over a Raptor camp. Dandy gets the smite battle down.
Dandy had a level advantage, 5-4. Means he should win it.
Picks up the 80 gold, gets the Raptor sense as well. So even Kid not having the best of times here. Rookie on top of that as well, getting poked out of the lane here by Easy, who gets donated a very early blue buff.
Yeah, Easyhoon able to put in work, and once again we talk towards the jungler's strategy. Dandy seemingly outclassing Kid, who just acknowledges that Dandy's in the bush on a ward and walks next to him anyway.
So we were talking about before the game how the top side of the map is really where the battle between Vici and Invictus game is going to be. Top side of the map looking very strong from Vici to start off this game.
Well, once again, we've got a big question mark when we look at Marge and Ben, because we literally know nothing about these two besides their country of origin. And so far, so good for IG. When you look at that, it's not Rain and Tabe. They're winning lane by CS for what it's worth as well. And so you have to give credit where it's due to these two. And we'll see how it progresses, but as you said, the top lane being good for Vici, usually their big avenue to win games, definitely starting on the right foot.
Even both junglers are down on the bottom side of the map here. As Kid is actually heading back to base, Dandy's going to try and get the wrap around. Teleports are coming into the back lines. Marge has already been exhausted. Easyhoon is even down in this lane as well. The Ashe is going to get taken down. Endless going to be able to pick up that kill. Dandy actually takes that one away. First blood goes over towards Vici.
Everyone was taking too long to lock the kill down, so Dandy says, all right, then I will do it. Of course, he only wanted the assist initially, and Easyhoon, once again, with a fantastic teleport. He's always at the right place at the right time. Only does the relevant damage to the Ashe before chasing the Hecarim out. And Vici get themselves an early first kill, and they do it efficiently.
They certainly did. Double teleport coming out from Vici to start this game off. And the flip side, Invictus Gaming, only that single teleport onto time. Malzahar took the Ghost and Flash this game.
Absolutely right. So he can Ghost to get to places quicker. One of the benefits that a Malzahar has, and the makeshift teleport in that respect, because you can see the summoners burnt. My best guess is that he used it to get to lane quicker.
We've seen a lot of mid laners do that recently. As Rookie is now going to be able to pick up his own blue buff at the standard second buff time. Easy Hoon's one will be a little bit later after picking up the very early blue donation coming out from Dandy.
Yeah, so actually an advantage here for Rookie whilst he has this blue buff to maybe push Easy Hoon out of the lane. Especially while he's got that passive on for the spell shield, the magic damage block, whatever you want to call it. Rookie set up here, and that's actually one of the bigger things that people sleep on when you look at mid laners. Blue buff can win a lane. The second one has it and the other doesn't. That's why Easy Hoon was actually beating Rookie, gets a teleport off. Perhaps now Rookie has one of his own. Things will change.
Well, let's see if they do. Is Dandy going to be able to take away Vici, not Vici, Invictus Gaming's red buff again? Tatai puts down that barrel, finds him, but it's not able to stop him from taking the buff away from Kid.
And once again, the buff's already gone. So Dandy, one step ahead of Kid at every moment, as once again, hanging out on vision, gives more time for his jungle to be taken from him.
Feels like there's been 9 minutes in this game, and for 8 of those 9, Vici have known exactly where Kid has been at all times.
Still monitoring him. Makes perfect sense that they're trying to do this. Prevent Kid from ganking, pressure the lanes through pushing. You can see Lung doing that, Easy Hoon doing that on Karma, and then maybe make a play with every teleport cooldown being up. Stop Kid from either being there or get him low, or just give time for Lung to work on this.
As there's actually going to be a dive up towards the top side of the map. Tatai going to get flashed on by Dandy, knocked up. Lung has to be careful as he's tanking up the turret, but Dandy's able to pick up the kill. That's already 2 very early kills for Vici.
Yeah, Lung tanking that turret very well, of course. Has his Ninja Tabi, so extra armor and move speed to get out of the turret. Kite's perfect, gets out with just enough damage taken so that Dandy can do enough of his own. They secure themselves 2 kills now, and it's the jungler of Vici that's coming out best for it.
He certainly is. Dandy looking very strong as we just got a chance to take a look at the mid lane there. Easy Hoon struggling now in that mid lane, very low on health and mana against the blue buff Rookie.
Yep, so once again, as expected, the tides turn.
Might help him out a little bit more here as Easy Hoon is able to pick up his own blue buff donated over by Dandy.
Of course, already pushed out of lane when you look at health bars. Rookie doesn't have his ultimate, however, which is why Easy Hoon's not having a great time. He'll be alright now, though, as it looks like he's going for the Athene's Unholy Grail build again. Something that I think it's only Easy Hoon that's gone for. Usually after the Athenes, you go straight for the Death Cap, otherwise you're very much an inefficient AP carry. You're just a support.
Well, does make sense with the lineup they have. Lots of AD champions with the Rek'Sai, Sivir, Trundle. Let's see if he's able to make the most use of it. As Kid's able to take down the Scuttle Camp near the near the Infernal Drake. Puts down a ward, spots out the pink ward. Caveman tags up Rain
here, so
with the Winter's Bite. And you're right, they do defend the ward.
The presence that Dandy has right now is huge. He's got an item advantage over Kid, who's working towards Trinity Force as his big item, which means that immediately Dandy is stronger, and that will be present until the Phage and Sheen aspects of Kid's items are done. Until then, he doesn't really have any efficient damage, and his item build just looks lacking in comparison. This gives a good window to work around that Infernal Drake, perhaps, for the side of Vici.
Let's keep track and see if Vici can do that. For now, they already have a 2,000 goal lead over Invictus Gaming just from those 2 kills and good map rotation play alone. That's really been off the back of Dandy, like we've mentioned time and time again. Playing for this game very well to start things off. As Rookie's able to pop his passive there against the Q coming out from Karma.
Yeah, the passive comes up frequently enough anyway that I quite like him having Malzahar for that exact purpose. Easy Who needs to hit a Q. That's hard to do anyway in the first place if you're playing Karma into Malzahar, because Rookie can use the minion wave as a blocking tool. Not only that, it means you can't hit the W and actually get a gank off with Dandy. Dandy can't come in and be the one engaging unless you're already poked out. And Rookie can just sit back and wait for his passive again.
And speaking of Dandy, he's able to take down the Rift Herald buff and donate that one over towards Lung. Trundle, one of the few champions, so not one of the few, but one of the better champions to pick up Rift Herald, especially early on in the game.
And for reference, Rookie and Malzahar in general, the reason we've been seeing it was originally as a pick against LeBlanc in the middle lane. Something that ruins combos is by having that magic damage shield. And so if you can block any kind of combo champion, usually the pick makes sense. Karma may not appeal to you as a combo-based champion at a surface level, but you need to be able to hit more than one spell to kill somebody, because your burst alone is not that great.
If you take a look towards the top side of the map here, Invictus Gaming, they've opted to swap Marge and Ben out of that bottom lane. Instead, sending it to the top side of the map. Lung going to get spotted out by the Hawk shot that comes out from Ash.
I guess the question is, are they hiding Zatai, or are they trying to get turrets now?
Well, that gives Vici an opportunity to take down this Infernal Dragon. 3 members already working on this. No response coming out from Invictus Gaming, so this should be a free objective for Vici.
This is actually quite good from Invictus, though. Yes, this is a scaling dragon. It's going to be valuable for Vici to lock it down, but IG will 100% get this turret first. They've got 3 people topside, and Zatai playing Gangplank actually has the unique perk of being able to clear waves with his ultimate. So if Vici want to try and siege that bottom lane as a response and match the trade, they can't actually match the trade because GP can pop down that ultimate, so they don't commit to it.
And there's the ultimate coming out from Gangplank, stopping Vici from pushing.
And meanwhile, on the other side of the map, you've got IG, who can actually actively work as a 3-man unit. This means that Vici have to have more than Lung here as a response, or he will get dove.
Well, let's see who they send up towards the top side of the map. Brom and Rek'Sai already making their way. Siva will head back down towards the bottom lane instead. Not to head into the shenanigans that will take place topside.
Yeah, but by threatening that, they're effectively a single turret ahead in comparison. Through that map movement, IG are the ones to put it into effect. They execute on it as efficiently as they could have given Vici's reactions. And it's a gold versus a scaling advantage that now has been traded.
But speaking of the gold, it's still in Vici's favor. They're still 2,000 gold ahead. So maintaining their lead since the early game quite strongly. As Yathine's Unholy Grail has finally been picked up by EasyHoon. On the flip side, we see Morello Nomicon being picked up by Rookie.
It wouldn't be surprising to see something like a Luden's Echo honestly picked up by EasyHoon after the Athenes, as Zatai is now pretty deep. He's got Dandy here.
He has to be careful because they're already on top of him. There goes the knock up the smite as well. The Asher comes down to try and help him, but Dandy's able to pick up another kill on Summoner's Rift.
It's Dandy now 3-0 as EasyHoon's in trouble.
He's in a bit of trouble here. Gets locked down by 3 knockups coming out from Invictus Gaming. 3 ultimates, I should say. Rookie finally finds the first kill for Invictus Gaming.
They use a lot of stuff to take him down. You can go through the list of IG, have a look at the summoner spells that are missing, and then realize that they were all used for one thing. And that was to take out EasyHoon. What they get is a kill, but they actually get nothing past that point, IG. In fact, they left responding to the rest of the map. EasyHoon has teleport anyway, so that's a lot of effort. But it wasn't coinciding with any map plays that IG wanted to make.
Still gives them a small buffer of gold, but they're still falling further and further behind against Vici. Dandy's been that really strong point, as the observers are showing us. He's over 1,500 gold ahead of Kid at the moment.
Yeah, he is a monster. That's pretty absurd.
He's playing Rek'Sai as well, so he's going to slowly get even more difficult to be taken down.
And it depends which way he wants to go with this build. He knows that Kid's going to be a fragile Trinity Force champion. Zatai is also a carry that you can kill, as is Rookie to an extent. So what you can do is you can go Titanic Hydra and do damage, or you can go Spectre's Cowl and be a super tank. And I think given that he's 3-0, he has a lot more gold than his opponent, I like the Titanic Hydra for that damage that scales with tankiness anyway.
He does have a component of it, so we'll have to track and see if he does pick it up. As the rest of the map, Essence Reaver has been picked up by Endless. On the flip side, Ash has picked it up as well, so going for more cooldown reduction, opting not to go for the Infinity Edge, so we see a couple of 80 carries opt for instead.
And it feels very much Invictus Gaming, having a bottom lane facilitators. The Ash wants to throw out more arrows, give more engage possibilities for the team, and set them up. It does mean that their damage will be less through the 80 carry position, but they've got Kid with a Trinity Force build, Zatai with a Trinity Force build, a lot of dueling potential and just raw damage coming out of the rest of the roster.
Well, now on the bottom side of the map, Vici were able to finally take down the bottom lane outer turret. This time, Zatai did not opt to use his ultimate to defend that. Gives it over towards Vici.
Holding on to it perhaps means they want to dive this top lane or threaten at very least, given the cooldowns are there for IG.
And a blue buff still actually be coming out from Rookie here. Kid is able to get that one low enough, but that gets donated over. As they're now chasing the rest of Invictus Gaming, need to be a little bit careful. Knockup comes out from Ben to stop them. Arrow gonna whiff, but Dandy's now trying to get on top of them. Gets headbutted away by the Alistar. Lung is still chasing behind. A flash forward from Caveman knocks up the Alistar, pops his ultimate immediately. IG looking to try and go for the fight as well. Marge now has to flash away from Dandy, who was trying to get the knockup. Kid jumping straight on top of the opposite jungle. They're still chasing them down. Vici, they're not giving up just yet. They want to try and take IG down. Marge now being locked down. Doesn't have his flash available anymore. Vici still trying to rush through. Caveman takes takes a lot of damage. Kid takes him down, but gets taken down really low as the double kill comes out for EasyHoon. The rest of Invictus Gaming are now trying to fight for their lives, but Rookie's dead, so is Marge, and it's an ace that's going to come out from Vici.
Only the tanks die from Vici, and that is a very well executed engage. And they chase too far to even get that engage. The fact that EasyHoon can speed everybody up and that Endless is so hard to kill means that they can prolonged chase in these situations and actually come out better for it. It takes too long to kill the damn Rek'Sai.
And not only do they get a turret for that as well as the ace, we're going to take a look at replay of this, Rusty.
It's just incredibly protracted how this actually splits up. The GP ultimate to zone EasyHoon away opts towards shielding his team opposed to doing damage, so looks like he's missing it at the start. Zatai can actually only hit Caveman, it feels like, throughout the rest of this. As the bottom left, there's still stuff happening. I think we might want to go back to that one.
Well, we might, but we're still going to watch the rest of the teamfight breakout between IG and Vici.
And so you have to give special credit here, actually, to Lung for using the pillar to deny Rookie's ultimate. Endless health bar is super low. He even flashed into the Q at the end. But he's got the Warlord's Bloodlust. Lung cancels Mal's ultimate, and they actually succeed quite heavily handed by the tanks of Vici.
And so to do, we can actually take a look at the damage dealt during that team fight. Lung coming out very strong in terms of damage dealt. EasyHoon, though, has been locked down by the Ash Arrow and Rookie's ultimate. Kid dashes in to try and pick up the kill. Lung has to be a little bit careful as well, down to half his health, as IG are now looking to try and siege mid lane.
The Malzahar threat is always too real. Invictus Gaming don't want to slow down that tempo if they can help it, but Lung is still a super tank, and he is pushing them off by himself.
He's trying to fight them 5-on-1 at the moment. There's the Gangplank ultimate coming down, but Rookie's taking so much damage to start things off. Dandy gets the first kill. Marge now can get flushed on by a Trundle. He finds the second as Ben's being chased down. Welcome to the LPL, says Dandy, as he picks up a double kill.
And that might actually just mean a Baron at 20 minutes in this game. That's risky business. I don't know if they want to commit to it with Kid alive. Maybe a dangerous game they want to play, but 5-1-5 now Dandy on this Rek'Sai. He is popping off in this series in game number 1. Lung is going huge as well. And they're picking on EasyHoon, but it doesn't matter because he's a support effectively anyway.
He certainly is on Karma. Now does have that death cap available, so lots of extra damage coming out from him at the moment. As Vici, like you said, opt not to go for the Baron as the pickup after the team fight there. Instead, look towards the Mountain Dragon, which was the second elemental dragon to spawn at this game.
The death time is a little bit too low in the game to commit to a Baron at 20 minutes. I mean, the kills were good from Vici. They re-engaged quite nicely, picking up on EasyHoon's deaths. But thinking about the amount that goes into killing him, if the Mel's ulti is used, then he's not effectively going to be used in the preceding team fight. Dandy is so big that he's actually doing damage whilst he is a tank. That's how far ahead he is.
Looks like they're actually setting up to try and take him down again. Rookie finally shows himself in the mid lane. He's running very aggressively forward. Flashes forward actually on top of EasyHoon. Immediately backs off as Caveman shows up in the lane. Even Ash Arrow was being sent towards the mid lane there. EasyHoon escapes with his life and burns the flash from Rookie.
They're not a big fan of EasyHoon at all. I mean, we can look at this mid lane matchup and say that it's super exciting. We've got Rookie against EasyHoon. That's a big deal.
Well, that's something we've seen before. Danny goes for the fight around. Raptor's able to smite it away from Kid again.
Continued jungle control. Titanic Hydra, honestly, as well. We said he was going to go for the accelerated build. Well, that's a snowball.
5-1-5, even 20... Well, actually, no, close to 30 CS up ahead of the Hecarim at the moment. So that's a very strong Dandy. On the flip side, it was a Trinity Force Hecarim that comes out from Kid. And Satai's actually been caught here by Dandy. Flash forward coming in, not flash forward, a Caveman jumps forward, forces the flash coming out from Satai.
You have to respect the potential engage. Once again, they can actually put that Sivir in the middle lane. The Spell Shield might be useful, and an interesting item build to be seen from Endless. He wants to have range. He's not a fan of being hit by a bunch of AoE that IG have actually got, and it makes sense.
He went for the Rapid Fire Cannon second. On the flip side, Marge hasn't even completed his Zeal yet. Still only the components of his Zeal on Ashe, so not even utilizing the full effectiveness of the Essence Briefer yet.
Yeah, we looked towards IG and said they win through the top side of their map, but because Vici have been winning through the top side of their map, the major benefactors are what is usually an even bottom lane of Endless and Caveman. Right now they are doing well, even through farm discrepancies. simply because Vici are winning.
Well, Kid's now going to get jumped on and obliterated on Summoner's Rift as Dandy finds another kill for himself, and this time they're looking towards the Baron.
Vici just put their hand over his face and say, shh, it's okay. And they just kill him. That was way too easy. I don't know why tanks are doing that much damage. Here we are, Kid. Trinity Force build. Would not recommend in a losing game.
Gameplay Ultimate does come out from Zatai to try and get a miracle steal, but it is secured by Vici as they pick up Baron 23 minutes into the game. Another fight coming out over the Raptor Camp gets Ben into some trouble, forced to pop the ultimate as Alistar, as Dandy and Lung still trying to chase aggressively forward towards Invictus Gaming. Ben is forced to flash away.
Yeah, they've pushed IG out of their own jungle, something that we have been seeing since minute 1 of this game. Dandy looked towards it. They haven't slowed down Vici now with that buff, pressuring the rest of IG.
Mid lane outer turret is going to fall. The 4th turret for Vici, up against the 2 that were taken out previously by Invictus Gaming, now continuing their siege on towards the mid lane inner turret. Kid has to be careful. Dandy's moving very aggressively forward. Gets locked down by Rookie. The exhaust goes on top of the Malzahar, reducing a lot of that damage. Caveman now in trouble. Dandy is going to get shut down and taken down by Rookie. So the siege is unsuccessful coming out from Vici.
Yeah, it was a good engage actually from IG, chasing too deep under the turret by Vici. Doesn't mean that they can't continue to push given the low health bars and mana pools of the rest of IG now. But they hold the fort for a moment at least. Really well covered actually, just across the board from Vici. That is a mistake, yeah. But Dandy thought he was tankier than he was. He went the Titanic Hydra build. Might have lived through the rest of it if he went straight into resistances, but opts towards that damage.
Well, now he's picking up a couple of more resistance items, looking for the Spirit Resurgence as his first pickup. Still only sitting on the components though. Dragon's going to be up and available in a minute 50. It's going to be another Mountain Dragon that spawns in Summoner's Rift.
Zatai has also built himself to fight with Lung, so as we get towards the next Drake, a next big point of conflict for both teams to meet, the question now has to be, can Zatai actually do it? I feel like the answer is perpetually no, because the Trundle has armor.
Well, he went for the Trinity Force Yomu's Ghostblade build on Gangplank. No more crit in either of those 2 items anymore.
No, well, they go the Ghostblade build to complement the new Trinity Force. It gives you 30% cooldown reduction, but once again, it means you're a duelist. And that's why you're now split pusher. You actually only have the Ghostblade active there for the purpose of auto-attacking faster. It helps against the armor that has been stacked by Lung. He's almost got 2 completed items.
He's got the Ravenous Hydra as well, so if he wants to split push, he can do it for days on end. As Vici actually looking to get some damage on towards the top lane inhibitor turret, and listen, Dandy getting some chip damage down.
Yeah, they can always chip away at it. They've got the Trundle working the rest of the map. They've got Easyhoon with the teleport advantage in the middle of the map as well. And so turrets will start to fall inevitably.
And there is that split push coming out from Long, already working on the bottom lane inner turret now. That will fall with E. Still has the Rift Thrower buff helping out a lot as well.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Even mid lane's now under siege.
That's right, already set up by Easyhoon earlier. And this onslaught, as long as the Baron buff stands, will be a constant nuisance for IG to deal with.
Vici looking very clinical coming into this game. They've picked up a very early lead, and now they've transitioned it into a very good map play, suffocating Invictus Gaming just 24 minutes into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. IG not really having an effective response available to what Vici are putting into effect. Once again, it comes through that jungle role. Dandy just suffocating Kid. It feels like IG have just suffered through that exact same problem. Vici just play the map well, but they play it slow.
And they are continuing to take these objectives down one by one. A second Mountain Dragon will fall for Vici. A third will be spawning in 6 minutes' time. And if Vici can control that dragon, means that objectives are going to drop down like flies as soon as they set their eyes on towards it. As an arrow comes towards mid lane, a good flash will come up from Easyhoon, escapes imminent death.
Easyhoon knowing he was a bit overextended though. Running teleport on his mid laner opposed to cleanse against an Ashe composition always runs that risk. It was a good flash to get out. Don't get me wrong, but he knew he was overstaying. He was due for a shop, at least for mana, but here we are.
Kid now heading towards the top side of the map, has his Trinity Force completed, still looking for his next item, doesn't even have his Cinderhawk on the Hecarim. Instead opting to just sit at the blue Smite Blade.
Oh, that's right. So Easyhoon blew his flash for the purpose of buying a Rylai's Crystal Scepter.
Okay.
He stayed because he wanted extra money. It felt that way, but he definitely did get his item at the very least. Now he's a big old Karma. Able to run at the faces of IG. Maybe not die as quickly with his health-based AP build. Once again, why would you go Rylai's Crystal Scepter? Well, it gives 100 AP in comparison to the Zhonya's or the Abyssal Scepter. And because you've gone all in with the Athene's Unholy Grail, and he's gone Death Cap second, he wants to be as efficient as possible with his remaining items. And it gives you extra slow on all of your spells.
Well, we saw the Baron power play coming out from Vici. It was only 3,000 gold, but if you take a look at the difference at the moment, it's an 11,000 gold lead for Vici. Ash Arrow does come out from Invictus Gaming, but lands straight on top of a Brom with his shield up and ready. So big engage summon a spell down for IG.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Trundle threatening. I think Vici just want to sit here and not be engaged on now that there's no arrow.
2 Mountain Dragons and a Rift Herald means Lung's going to work on this turret. It's already down towards less than a quarter of its health. Lung gets it with 2 final auto attacks, so that's an inhibitor turret. Broken Kid looking for the flank. There's the pillar coming out from Lung, forces him to stop the engage. That means topside can be able to push in quite nicely for Vici if they choose to do so, but it is going to be Rek'Sai that heads back to base.
Yeah, they show reservations. Rek'Sai has the farm alarm, to be fair, so he can come back into the fight pretty quickly. Vici's response should actually be the middle lane when they have the Trundle pressuring bottom, because it's an easier turret to take in comparison to that top lane inhibitor. They run the risk of being engaged on when anything's inside IG's base, because its home guards are clocked for Hecarim, and that engage is dangerous.
So we did see the farm alarm come out from Danny, went back to base to pick up a little bit of armor for himself, so getting a lot stronger, a lot more resistance coming out from this Rek'Sai. He has about 4,000 health at the moment. As EasyHoon will be able to pick up the blue buff away from Invictus Gaming. Now Vici, they're looking to try and push in towards the base. That inhibitor turret was taken down by Lung during his last push, and he's already working on the inhibitor.
Bit risky when you don't have all 5 members here, but Vici push in and push their luck. Right now they are all grouped up though, so this threat can continue, and IG, they look like they're conceding this if they don't get the engage off soon.
Marge does have the Ash Arrow available, so it's possible they could look for the engagement. Lung is trying to do his best to zone out the rest of the team. Dandy actually getting some good damage down towards both Kid and Satai in the backlines all by himself. Poker's coming out from EasyHoon and Endless as well. There goes the engage. Ben's going to flash in. Cavemans, the target's getting locked down by both Ben and Marge, but that's the support they were looking for. Endless takes down Ben, and now Vici, they're just pushing on towards the Nexus. Rookie gets chipped down really low, lives with a sliver of health. Marge gets obliterated by the Rek'Sai, and that's 2 very quick and decisive picks coming out from Vici.
Waiting for the minion wave here, but they are against the gangplank, so this is difficult to do. Remember, Rookie has his ultimate. Hecarim on Kid has the ulti there as well.
Well, let's see if they can execute. There is that Hecarim ultimate coming out. That's just a defensive tool to try and back off, as Vici have already broken one of the Nexus turrets. They're working on the second. Hecarim is still trying to back him away, but now Rookie's been jumped on by Dandy, forced to use the ultimate. Gonna get him down really low, but a shield comes out from Karma. Keeps Dandy alive with a sliver of health. Kid, he's gonna try to chase him down and pick up a kill. Gets it with the smite. Easy is being jumped on, but it doesn't matter, as a very clinical game 1 comes out of Vici.
A very easy victory from Vici, it felt like at the end there. They committed to the bottom lane inhibitor. They get a single kill with it. Ben getting hyphy, trying to engage. And just like that, they commit to the entire game. Big, concise, clear shot calling movements from Vici Gaming as a unit. And it felt like from that first minute to the very last minute, they had control of Summoner's Rift.
And you know, it really felt like it came off the back of Dandy, who was playing a phenomenal game on that Rek'Sai in the jungle. He looked like he was outclassing Kid from the very start of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was no looking past that point. Yes, EasyHoon collapsed. Yes, they team fought well, Vici. They made good decisions. But to get into a position where Dandy's this big already, making those decisions is a little bit easier.
And this team fight you see on your screen really felt like the tipping point of the game as well. Yes, Vici had good map control, good map playing with 2,000 gold ahead, but this is where things swung completely in their favor.
And acknowledging that the most damage dealt in this fight was by a Trundle, and not only that, he saved his pillar for the perfect time to stop a Malzahar ulting somebody. So much credit to Lung in this game as well. It wasn't just Dandy. He may have started it, but they made sure that it was carried through effectively by every single member of Vici.
The second highlight we saw was actually a 4-on-5 that was initiated by Invictus Gaming after they get a very good pick on towards EasyHoon, throwing everything at him to take him down, it seems, in the mid lane.
And once again, it's a Karma. You can use everything to take down that Karma, but he's not going to change in his relevance in this game. It's more about getting Rookie ahead. And it never felt like, in any situation, Rookie was far enough ahead that it was going to dictate the pace of that game, because Kid was already behind, the top lane was already behind, and IG just struggled.
They certainly did. You know,